allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Yes, welcome to the Monday, August 22nd committee, Cape May Beach Safety Committee. We're going to go through roll call. Steve Steger.
Here.
Okay, Christine DiDonato here. Lorraine Baldwin.
Here.
Thank you. Harry Back. I believe Harry was not feeling well. Sarah Werner. I believe Sarah is possibly at work. We have Michael Eck. Thank you for being here. Tom Medvecki is also working. He's on the beach patrol. Eric Przinski. Okay. Roy Sundstrom.
Here.
Catherine Rafter has a family obligation, and William Kurtz.
Here.
Okay, thank you. So the minutes for the, I'm sorry, not the May meeting, it was for this, apologies, for the July meeting were sent out. Did anyone need anything to be changed, updated?
Looks okay to me.
Great.
Good.
Okay, motion to approve?
I'll make a motion.
Okay, thank you. Okay, before we get started, so I know Katie Rafter is not with us tonight. I believe we'd like to give condolences to her family. I think her mother passed away. And also, Roy, I believe that your grandmother may have passed away. We were talking, so very sorry to hear that, and I hope your family's doing well.
They are.
Shortly.
Appreciate it.
All right, Steve, go ahead.
All right, I guess we'll start with the subcommittee progress discussions. Lorraine, any update on the PA system, or anything you want to bring to the group?
Yes, absolutely. We're moving along pretty quickly on it. We have secured from 2018 $250,000 as part of a bond. I'm going to be meeting with Joe McLaughlin and working everything through him. We are going to, I'm hoping to, as long as everybody else can get everything in line, because when we're putting out an RFP, we have to make sure that the engineer takes a look at it.
Yep.
We have, people, the powers that be in City Hall here, they have to look at, make sure all the legalese are in there. But we're looking at the substance of the actual system. I'm hoping to have it done by the end of the week, bring it back into City Hall. It's tentatively on council's agenda for the 6th, I think, Shane. I think the 6th is our next meeting. So tentatively at this point, worst case scenario, it would be the second meeting in September.
Lorraine, who was that, the money from again?
It was a bond that was, that council approved in 2018. And it's earmarked just for the speaker system on the beach.
Thank you.
Do we have any update at all from the DEP on like polls and anything like that yet, or nothing still?
On the controls?
On the polls.
Oh, on the
Like
polls.
whether, like, how we're going to go about
Yep.
securing them and stuff like that.
Yeah, at this point, we're good.
Okay. Good to know. Good to go. All right, well, that's a pretty good update then.
Yeah, excited.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm guessing that if everything goes well throughout the winter, the whole system should be up and running by next summer then.
By next summer.
Cool. Awesome.
And that'll take us from Convention Hall down to Wilmington.
And will the beach patrol have the ability to access it from HQ, or does that have to be from?
It's going to be accessed, I think, from phone.
Right. Gotcha.
Yep.
Gotcha. Even better. Okay. Anybody got any questions on any of that? No? All right, I guess we'll move on to beach replenishment. I guess, Lorraine, do you have anything to add on to that as far as any kind of talking point? I know we're still
Yeah.
in the process of waiting for, I guess, to hire the coastal engineer or wherever.
So I think the first thing we want to do is we're adding William Yogi Kurtz to that committee, that subcommittee. I provided Mr. Kurtz all of the documents, so all of the things from Stu Farrell, the beach surveys that were completed. I've also forwarded, and I spoke to Mark de Blasio today. We've been in contact over the past month. He has all of the surveys from Stockton as well as from the DEP, so that surveys our entire beachfront. With those surveys at this point, our next step is seeking out and kind of vetting coastal engineers and taking that back to council. So that's where we are right now in this process. I think a lot of, we all had to really educate ourselves. I know, Steve,
yeah.
we went out and we met, we had a couple of meetings. We're now trying to get Yogi up to speed. Christine has been, part of all of this, as well as Mark de Blasio, and thank goodness he came on. He's really been, a godsend to this
Been a
committee,
big
the
help,
subcommittee.
Just educating the group on everything and the terms and the methodologies and stuff like that. He's been a major asset to this group. We're
Yeah.
very lucky to have him.
Yeah.
So do you anticipate, what's the anticipated timeline for, I guess, the steps moving forward, if somebody were to
Well,
ask?
it seems like the current coastal engineer that we're looking at talking to, we're looking at them completing like a 3D model, 3D model as well as a computer-generated model that would mimic the waves and the position of where we are on the coast, because it's a lot different than any other coastal shore town, and look at what we can do, whether it's the change in jetty systems, whatever they're looking at doing. So they would actually mimic all of that, come back to us, but we need to take a look at that coastal engineer. Is this the right coastal engineer for
Right,
us,
it's the right fit for what we're trying to do.
for what we're trying to do?
So what kind of timeline are we looking at?
Timeline, we're probably maybe 6 to 8 months, hopefully. I mean, I haven't spoken to them, but that's, things have been moving along.
Yeah.
For me, a little slowly, but unfortunately, when you have other people that you have to kind of motivate, it's hard when, you have to call them 2 and 3 times, and, we're
6 to 8 months before we meet, or 6 to 8 months till we get a resolve of some sort?
until we maybe have a model. Because in order to get the model done, we have to have the model done in order to go back to when they're doing beach replenishment. We have to have something for the state to look at. They're not going to do just the demonstration project without having some sort of coastal engineer.
I was reading an article in the Herald, I think it's North Wildwood maybe, that they hired a certain law firm to help them, I guess, negotiate. They're kind of, they're not dealing with the shore break issue that we're having, but they're having similar issues with their pier or whatever, or their bulkhead. Do you think it's necessary at this point for the city to engage in specific, legal service that relates to kind of negotiating with the Army Corps of Engineer and their contract language and stuff like that?
I think we're a little premature with that. I think we need to get the coastal engineer on board, give us some ideas, go through council at that point, and then, have council decide,
You don't think legal counsel isn't needed
I think we're premature on that.
But I think if we do need legal counsel, hook up with those guys
Oh, yeah.
and share some expenses, instead of going out and getting another firm.
Right. So that's where we are with replenishment.
Okay.
Hopefully, we'll have a meeting with the coastal engineer within the next, Mark's hoping within the next, few weeks.
Okay.
Okay?
This is moving pretty quickly then, it seems. That's
Yep.
good. As
Sorry.
quickly as it can.
No, I think we all know, it's not that we all know, so just for other people's edification, this has been months of, trying to meet. It's in, during the workday, and I think Lorraine has made herself available at every opportunity, and which I appreciate, because we're kind of at their behest with some of this. We have to accommodate them because, this is where we are, so I appreciate that. But if we're getting this, if it's going to be within the next few weeks, I think that's fantastic.
Okay. Anybody got any other questions on that? No? All right.
Okay, so Steve, I'll just say for the beach and surf zone safety, ideally, Tom, he let me know a couple days ago he would be working tonight, and Harry is not feeling well, and Sarah is not here as well. So the goal was to have maybe, Tom to give us not an update, but just a plan for when they go back to school to do an assessment of what has been done and how to expound upon that for the, for next year. We're going to need to wait until we are able to speak to them, and I think that's sort of the same thing with the videos with marketing, as I did email Sarah, or text Sarah, and she's working now. I think that's really where we need to put some emphasis and put a little bit of behind it, because we've
Yeah.
waited.
So
for that.
realistically, that'll probably be this group's next, outside of the beach replenishment and the PA system, that'll probably be the next group's big project for the fall, I'd say, is kind of, we discussed a lot of it in late spring, and by that time, I mean, the beach patrol did go out and educate a number of local school
Sure.
districts and stuff like that. But I think Tom's vision was basically making it more streamlined so it could be used everywhere, not just, in our county, but it could be used in other counties and so on and so forth, so.
At least he has the basic building blocks for next year to work off.
Exactly, exactly.
Yes.
And then, of course, as we develop it, we can, get input from the fire department, what kind of stuff they want to add from the, public safety side of things, if you feel like anything's valid for that. But, obviously, as beach patrol and fire department kind of work hand in hand. But if I recall talking to Tom, he, that's going to be a lot more of a subgroup meeting, kind of going over things rather than it being, hashed out right here pretty much.
Agreed. Well, I think it's August 22nd. We know it's been a busy summer, but what I think we request is that the marketing has a subcommittee meeting before our next meeting and prepares something ahead of time. So, because again, in order for us to move forward, we need to know where we are and what we've put to bed, and what we need to address. So I would ask both of those groups to have a subcommittee meeting and come
Okay.
back with a,
All right, well then,
Overview.
but I guess before the next meeting, we'll get a subcommittee meeting then on that, and we'll see what we can kind of, I guess, outline for what we want to accomplish going into the school year. We'll take it from there, pretty much.
agreed. And then, a plan for next year that when we do the education, again, getting to the hotels, I know we were trying to, that we had aggressive ideas, but not unfortunately, we didn't have the material to follow through given the latter start. So that's something else that we want to add on there and how we're going to approach.
Maybe we can incorporate some type of education on a weekly basis, since the tourist basis changes every week. And it'd be good for Harry, I'm sure, for his guards. If we just say a Tuesday at 10 o'clock and it gets put over to the PA, people can see
Yeah.
our concern. And hopefully it'll educate them somewhat.
What you're saying, like have maybe like a PA address, not just, the promenade, 10 o'clock, beach tags, maybe at the end of the day, say like around 5 o'clock, another recording that goes out potentially?
Absolutely, yeah. But, do it on a weekly basis. It can't hurt.
Yep.
No, yeah.
Or if the surf zone,
Sunday morning, that's a good idea.
dangerous surf zone, things like that can go
Yeah.
out there.
Sunday morning's probably the magic hour for that to happen.
Sunday mornings, I usually do training sessions with the entire guard, so that might be a little bit difficult for them. But you might be able to incorporate some of the
Monday.
videos that are already on the website, movies on the beach, maybe put some kiosks in Convention Hall at the Beach Patrol headquarters, and that way you kind of have a continuous loop going on, something like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because Yogi, I don't know if you know that there was a curriculum that was developed here that's being used in the school.
I think somebody told me.
Okay. There's that as well. So and you're talking about extending it to the public as well, which I think is great.
This is just thinking off the cuff here. Do you think it'd be crazy to maybe for the city of Cape May to do a beach safety commercial that would air on TV? Kind of similar to what, like,
It's a good media. I mean, it's a good way to get it across to a lot of people. You put it on one of those channels. Obviously, you couldn't afford to do 3, 6, or 10, but everyone watches the Food Channel or some other.
Yeah.
You put it on there, and it works. I mean, I've used it extensively in the restaurants, and the reason you know it works is because people come in and tell you, I saw you on TV.
yeah, I mean,
All I have to do.
if Sarah has good enough videos, I'm sure she can edit them too.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not too educated with how on the back end, how it works. You get a commercial laid out. I think you have to reach out to like a marketing executive with Comcast or something like that, and then they can pretty much hold your hand from there.
You guys all remember Sammy Best from that. He used to own a company that did that. And he did all our commercials, and he was just really good.
Yeah. And I think right now with, like Comcast, they target specific areas.
And you might be able to maybe get it very low cost or free.
Because it's city.
It's community service.
Yeah.
And you could probably reach out to LCMR for production. They actually have a production
Oh, yeah,
studio in
yeah.
there.
True.
that's
Didn't even
right.
think about that.
They could use it as a project there. And I mean, not to hijack it, but you could probably spread this across all emergency services. I'm sure Chief Fashaw has some messages that he'd like to get out as far as low-speed vehicles, stuff like that.
I
So
don't
it might be
think it's
worth
hijacking,
kind of
yeah.
pulling that in that entire direction.
And maybe it's just like, the beach safety stuff, it's not just beach safety, it's just general tourism safety in general. You
Yeah.
kind of appeal into like pedestrian safety, you can kind of multi-layer into all the various concerns that we have in the summertime. I mean, obviously, people being safe on the beach that's probably one of the more areas where they're going to get hurt or have some kind of issue, but being out on the street, not really knowing pedestrian safety and proper bike etiquette, I mean, for some of these people, they probably haven't been on a bicycle in probably a decade or so. And, Cape May is kind of a unique area where you got a lot of traffic and you got a lot of pedestrians too. So, I mean, I don't know, maybe that's an angle of attack that city could use, not just on virtually every
Keep our
front.
city safe for some,
Yeah.
because like you said, the bicycle people. One-way streets, no lights, it's crazy. It's insane. And it's gonna take someone to get hurt, and I hate to say that. But now you have the e-bikes, and they're on the sidewalks, doing 20 miles an hour, man. It's like,
And the electric cars, which if I'm coming out of my driveway on my bike anymore, I stop. I don't rely entirely on my hearing.
Yeah.
You can't, because you have to really, I mean, there's a lot of things that are going on.
it's a whole new mode of travel in town, the scooters or whatever. And bikes are almost like third position now, yeah.
We need to talk to Sarah, though, I think, and see where she is as far as like a lot of these movie productions that she's doing,
Yeah.
and see where she is with some of them.
I mean, I think the commercial could be under a minute, and I think you
Yeah.
could really,
Quick.
you can get, and, kind of now, if we don't have the material that we need, especially if you want to, get the police department and fire in on it too, for their public safety messages, now would be the time to do it, while the weather's good, the lighting's good.
Yep.
Because you're not going to be able to roll this out in the wintertime, everything's going to be dead by then. So,
Yes, that's the one thing that we were talking about in the wintertime, this winter. Oh, no, the spring and then the summer will be
we still
good.
got 2 more months of decent weather and,
Yeah.
and light, and, I mean, not so just for the beach, but around the town where there's people there and stuff like that. I mean, if you're looking at a regional outreach, that's the best way to do it, is getting a commercial. I mean, I don't know what the cost would be, maybe it's something you run, once every 2 weeks in the peak of the summer, see what it is. I'm not sure where the money would come from on the council side of things, but I'm sure there's a fund somewhere or something like that it can be pulled from, but
And I know that pretty much all of the safety videos that came out of this committee in the past was always on the website, and also on the Movies on the Beach.
yep. Yeah, they're all on the website
And they're
now,
on the-
which is good. They're all organized in one spot.
The existing ones, the ones that were, yeah.
Yeah, I don't really know exactly where Sarah is. I know she was working on them all summer.
I left her a message before we came, and I let her know that we need to have an idea. It's,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
know that people are busy, but as you said, it's coming down to a close. If we don't have material, putting things together for next year is gonna be very difficult.
Yeah, and if it's something that both police and fire want to get in on, then we need to kind of get a plan in effect now.
Yeah, I do too.
It basically would be more of like a public safety commercial than it would be just beach safety. I think that's the route you
Yeah.
can take with it.
I like that.
Agreed. Okay, anything there for marketing?
Not anything else. I mean, we gotta, like you said, we gotta kind of get the ball rolling for next year's initiatives now.
Right, and that's why, so I had to bring this up, so, sorry not to make this about me, but I started a new job, and on Mondays, I have to be in Princeton, and I have to be there on Mondays for the most part, so I asked Aaron to take a look at other days of the week that we could meet, and right now we're the fourth Monday. The fourth Wednesday is available of every month. Does anyone?
Doesn't really conflict with me too much, unless anybody else has an issue with it. Yeah.
Okay, I'll send that out. and
The only thing I'm wondering is maybe in the summertime, we can have it a little bit later, because we have Harry, we have, Tom, a few people that are on the beach, or the,
4:30
This
can
committee.
be rough in the
Yeah.
summertime.
it is tough in the summertime, or,
So
or we
5,
take a look,
5:30
yeah,
in the
maybe a
summer.
little bit later in the summer.
Yeah, in the off-season, it's not, so
Right.
terrible, but in the summertime, it can be a little challenging.
We can still do 4:30 from now until December, but we'll do the fourth Wednesday. Just send an email out to everybody,
Okay,
make sure that they're okay with it.
I will do that. And once I do, I'll send an updated list of meeting dates.
Yeah.
Good Wednesday.
Back to the marketing on this, let's call it the commercial. I mean, we can just tap into these restaurants, realtors, even if you give them, if it's a 30-second commercial, brought to you by so-and-so,
Ooh.
Mad Batter. They're very civic-oriented, all the realtors, all the restaurateurs here. Even if they only pay half of it,
Where you're seeing offset some of the costs.
offset all the costs. I mean, and private donations. People
They will.
want to help the city. The beach problem is bigger than I ever thought. I mean, it's amazing how many people say something but don't do anything. And there lies the problem. You can talk about all you want, unless you're doing something, all you're
Yeah.
doing is talking.
Yep.
Well, now that we're fresh off, the summer season, and the Beach Safety Committee's been meeting because I'm going to be honest, the first 4 months, when we first all got on this committee, it was a major learning curve, arguably, into the deep parts of the winter. So it doesn't really give that group that much time to really pick all this up. So by now, we're pretty good. We all have a good working relationship with each other now. And we got a lot of other stuff going on too, which is good. So I think now we can kind of plan more aggressively now that the summer's over with, and kind of pull everybody together and kind of get their thoughts about how the summer went overall.
How did the summer, I mean, I'm inquisitive as far as problems with people getting hurt. I mean, I hear the chopper. 0 waves. Yeah. From the wa-
Maybe,
I mean, how many,
what do you think, Mike? Do you think,
Yeah, I don't want to give you an inaccurate number. I know the
No.
chief just put out a report last week.
is it under 5, under 10,
I'd say under 15.
under 15? Okay.
would you say it's comparable to last summer, or?
Yeah, but August is typically the months that we start running into more bad water. Start having storms on up the coast, so we're kind of getting into that time of year where it gets a little busier. Not only with the water, but I don't know if you looked at the website today, we are down, I don't know how many beaches that are guarded right
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So
Yeah, I think
people,
it's
they
a
still
problem.
frequent them, and without any supervision, unfortunately, they put themselves in some bad positions, so,
Especially at off-duty.
yeah.
Yeah.
Have you had a lot of water rescues this year, like off-duty?
We've had a couple, but most of them have been out towards Cape May Point.
Okay. Okay.
Do you have the reports for this summer, or is it something that Alex is going to get together? 'Cause
Alex
I-
is getting it together.
He's getting that together, okay.
One he had to fill out last
And
week.
then if you could forward it to Christine, that would be great.
Yep.
Thank you. So, does anybody have, so right now, our 4 major areas where we're concentrating, is there anything that anyone thought to be added next year in terms of a subcommittee or content matter that they'd like to address? And it doesn't need to be answered now, but maybe this is something,
Yeah.
please start thinking about it. So in September, that'll be our first meeting of 2022-23. So if something needs to be added, please let me know.
Yeah, I think as of right now, all the talking points are pretty well covered, unless we as a group over the next couple months determine that we want to do something else or add another category that requires our attention. I mean, basically, the 4 points, it's pretty much what the premise of this whole group is beach safety, beach replenishment, and marketing and education initiatives, which that's what we've been working on, so. But, you know, if something else comes up, we'll certainly add it, definitely. All right, I guess we'll, anybody have anything else they want to say about anything else? Is there any public portion comment of any kind?
I would just say, if you go to the Beach Patrol new website. It's excellent. Just for the record, I just wanted to say I saw the Beach Patrol website, can be Beach Patrol. Yeah, and it was excellent. It was good
Cool.
videos.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, just to bring that, I mean, now that the website's like fully up and running, we got all the domains and everything like that. Again, the website was always there. It just was on somewhat of an outdated website hosting platform. Now we have a good one. So that could be used and updated at any time for anything. And it could link to the fire department's website if it needs to for whatever reason. I don't know if you would know, is your website like a Squarespace site of any kind or anything like that?
Actually, we just shut the website down about 4 or 5 months ago. Just maintenance of it was really becoming an issue. Don't have the staff to really maintain it on a regular basis.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And we don't want to have any outdated information on there. So we feel it was better to just utilize the city's main webpage for any information we needed to get out and just disseminate it through a regular public information officer.
I mean, if you're interested, I mean, and I don't know if it's your decision or not, but, you know, we can kind of use this committee with the current resources we have with the Beach Patrol's website to help with the fire department website if you guys feel it's necessary. Or if you're interested in it at all. I don't know if you would have the need for it as much as the Beach Patrol would, but.
Honestly, most of the updates that we have to do, I think social media is a little bit better of a platform
Yeah.
for it, 'cause it's more instantaneous. People can actually follow it and get notifications from us, whereas a web page, they're not coming on
Yeah, your
quite
social
well.
media page is pretty good, very good. It's very engaging, which is good. So to that end, they probably don't need to have a new website then, but, cool. Well, if anybody else doesn't have anything else, I guess,
No, I just wanted to add that, just for everyone's edification, Robert Sullivan, the young man who Steve enlisted to do the website, was recognized by council this past week. So we're,
Nice.
again,
Yeah.
very grateful to him, and I'm glad that he could be recognized, and we
Yeah.
appreciate
he
it.
put a lot of work into it. He's very deserving of some recognition.
What, was it gratis or?
Yes, it was. Over 200 hours. He really put a
Yeah, he
lot
put
of work
time
into it.
That's nice.
A lot of it was just trying to get access to the old website, which was challenging because I think it was done in, I want to say like early 2000s or like late 90s. So to go back and try to get all those logins and passwords, it was kind of challenging. But, you know, Cove's just because of school for, so he was able to navigate it pretty good. It's beyond me to figure out. I think it's beyond a lot of us to figure out, but.
And we did a few Zoom meetings this winter, just, you know, before it went live. It was, you know, he was really just plugging along. He hit the ground running, and that was when he was still in school.
Yeah.
So he was doing all this while he was in school, so.
Yeah. Yeah, we're
Did a great
very
job.
glad to have him. So, and he did a good service to the city and the Beach Patrol
Yeah.
too, which is good.
Yep.
So,
As a new member, I mean, this is the second meeting. I've only seen one human here as far as,
Everybody watches.
oh, it's okay.
It's.
oh yeah, it's all
It's all-
televised.
Yeah, it's all
Oh,
televised. Yep.
All right, 'cause
You're
I was
live.
wondering- I was going to say, geez, Shane's the only guy that's concerned about it? But, okay, yeah.
Yeah. No, people watch, and then
Good.
they'll call. They'll probably call you or
Well, that's
Steve
good.
or
We
Christine.
should get concerned. Mm-hmm. It's good to have their input here or via Christine's office.
Yep. Yep. Between Christine and Steve, I think they keep us all straight.
Yeah,
We
okay.
try. We give it a good shot. Yeah, we got any other comments you'd like to make before we adjourn? Nope. Okay, I make a motion to adjourn then.
Okay,
All right.
thanks.
Thank you.
Sure.